Well, hello from sunny Barbados. Today is the 2nd of January. Most people are just waking up now after going at it hard on New Year's Eve. Now, the country was put into an emergency lockdown on New Year's Eve, meaning that all establishments like drinking places and clubs and so on and so forth, the ones that were allowed to be open, had to shut at 11 o'clock to make sure that the whole establishment was shut and everybody was home by 12, as a curfew had been imposed by the government. So this threw everybody into a frenzy. We decided we're going to have a nice little quick meal, just taking the scenes and seeing who was doing what, and then come home. So we went to a really lovely establishment. We were lucky to get a table because she said they were fully booked. And fully booked means that I think there was probably about 40 people in this establishment. Normally it would cater for maybe 80 or more, but obviously because of the COVID pandemic, everyone has to have the social distancing. So it was a case of only having half the patrons that you would normally be allowed to have. Now, it was a lovely, lovely evening. We had a lovely sea view, even though it was darkish, but they had lovely little fairy lights and stuff like that, and just hearing the crashing of the waves really added to the ambience of the evening. After that, we walked along what they call the Broad Walk, which is a lovely path that takes you down sort of a lot of the stretch of the beach, which you can walk on at night, and it's well lit and it is beautiful. So we walked down the Broad Walk, just a short walk, to another establishment where it was more a bar with dancing. So danced to a couple of tunes, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't done this for years and years. So I'm not sure if my beat's in the right place, but I gave it a good spin around on my big large feet, because I've been bitten by mosquitoes, but I did my thing. And we had a couple of drinks there. But what was so funny was, it was about, I don't know, 10 o'clock, and all of a sudden the establishment says, right, now it's time to go. My accent's really bad. We're gonna shut down now, blah, 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 blah. So drink up and get ready to go. And it was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And the fact that everyone was really adhering to this was incredible, because it had been reported on the news that a couple of people, tourists they were, one had been jailed for 6 months and the other had been fined $6,000. And if you're a local, you're gonna get stung hard too. And I think with that in mind, nobody wanted to be locked up in jail for the new year. And what I have to say is that the Barbadian people, the Bajan people, are really taking this absolutely seriously. And it's just wonderful to see, because at the end of the day, this country relies heavily on tourism. So, you know, they can't afford for people to go around and do what they want, because if lots of people have the COVID, if they pick up the COVID virus, then that means it's going to break the economy anyway. So by the government being very, very stringent and very, very tough, it seems to be working. And from what I've seen and what I've heard, I haven't heard any Bajan person complain about it. They're just putting on their masks and they're going about their business. And me as a tourist, I'm exactly the same. You know, when I go out, I think, right, I've got my mask, and I always take a couple with me just in case, you know, someone else is with me or whatever, and we can all wear our masks without feeling, or we're not doing something right. Because to me, if you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. So to me, I'm in Barbados and I'm going to do exactly what I'm told. And it just makes everything seamless and everything happy. So yes, by 10 o'clock, everybody was rushing to pack up and stuff. And what was so interesting, the thing that I found the funniest, was that it wasn't so much that any bars were crowded. Where the problems occurred, the traffic occurred, is that everybody was waiting in a drive-in to go to a place called Chevette's, which is like a bit like a fast food joint, but it sells West Indian food. That was the queue for that. The traffic was really like miles and miles. And then when we managed to get around that, then we hit another huge traffic jam for people trying to get into Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is true. So you know what? These people love their takeout. when it's going to be locked down or when it's going to be, you know, like a long weekend or a bank holiday. I just loved it. I just thought I've never seen anything like it, never witnessed anything like it, and I thought it was amazing. So yes, the country, back to seriousness, the government have imposed a lockdown. It was a curfew from 12 midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's now been stepped up, whereas now everybody has to be indoors by 9 o'clock, not midnight anymore. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm normally in at night anyway, so I'm not too sure how that's going, but from what I saw the other evening, I think people will be adhering to that. So that's where we're at with this COVID pandemic. It's really interesting because the fact that it's hitting the whole world, and yet this little island of Barbados are really at the forefront of being very strict, and all the people adhering to the challenges that we have faced through this pandemic. And I just would love to say to the Barbadian people, you are, in my book, number one dealing with this. Perfection. Anyway, that's it for now. If there's anything great or amazing or breaking news, trust me, I will be making a short video and putting it out to you. Please stay safe, and let's hope 2021 will be much better than 2020. Keep safe. Bye for now. Bye.